Hey guys, it is the Pure Data Analyst here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about BigQuery, the Google BigQuery sandbox to be exact. And I really love using Google BigQuery. I've run into some other people that uh, will use different websites like SQLite or uh, I don't necessarily have a problem with MySQL. MySQL is pretty cool. But for now, I kind of want to dig deep into why I like BigQuery. And for starters, what I like to do when I first start off making a dashboard, I have to decide what I'm going to do about it. What am I going to do about it? Okay, so I ended up just recently finding a data set on NBA players for the 2023-2024 regular season. And what that usually means is it was probably the stats from the latest season, so last season. And it has all those in there. It's not something that 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 people have accumulated this season so far. It would be a lot worse based on what I've seen. So once you download your data set, a CSV file, what I love to do with that is put that in a Google Drive folder. So you can see here, I ended up putting it in Google Sheets. It starts off as a document, as you can guess, with CSV, but you can open it in Google Sheets. It gives you the settings to do that. It's at the very top of the page when you open the document itself. So from there on, you're going to hate me for this. I don't necessarily clean the data up front right after I download it onto Google Sheets, but what I like to do, I will go to Google BigQuery and I end up making a data set name, which I've called NBA. You can see some of my other ones like Spotify down here too. But I ended up putting together a table called NBA data with the CSV file, and you can test it out. I highly, highly, highly recommend you get a good look at the data, get a feel for what it's like. So select all from this data.nba.nba data. And let's not throw a limit on there. Let's just throw everything into that and click run. So you can see already we have a page of the first 50 people on the list. And I believe those may be the top players. I'm not completely sure, but that's why we filter things out and we transform the data and perform ETL. So what I see here as you scroll down, you kind of want to get an idea of maybe there's some blanks in one of these columns or something's not right. So this is the part I love about Google BigQuery. You can go to Google Spreadsheets and update the spreadsheet, and that will, if you have it set up right, update to the data that you have here when you are transforming it and putting it all together. So for the sake of just having this data in Google BigQuery, now I can go back to my Google spreadsheets. I like to go from spreadsheets to Google BigQuery, just like this. So what you can do, you can start cleaning now. So what do we have? We have a select all of the columns and rows. You can go to the data tab, go to data cleanup, and look at any cleanup suggestions. No suggestions available. Everything according to the automated cleanup looks good. Now let's check something else. You could even filter or add slicers to really get a good look at everything, but add a slicer and then you select a column. So let's do 3-point percentage. Oops. Okay. So you're going to choose 3-point percentage again over here, and your slicer is made successfully. So you can see that blanks is one of the options here. You can see that you'd probably want to delete those blanks maybe. But I didn't even expect there to be any blanks in this from my quick overview. Um, so from here, we're gonna go to OK and take a look at all that. Move the slicer over a little bit. So you can see that there's about maybe 25 to 50 players who do not have a 3-point percentage. It's not a zero. It's not anything. And I think that's significant enough to make a decision that I would probably think about leaving it like that, making it some null values because they didn't even take a 3-point shot, most likely. But you would need to verify that. You would need to come to your own conclusion on that. There's other blank rows and other columns, like you can see here. So what I've done in the past, I've completely taken out rows or just seriously the whole row of if there's one or two blanks throughout the data set, I like to take out the whole row and not include that with everything else. So I see here field goal percentage is blank spots for a lot of players, 2-point percentage. I'm wondering if it's just the percentages because you can't. Yeah, and it would make sense too to have it blank rather than say zero. If you had the idea to just put some zeros in there, that would signify that would just show that they took a 3-point shot and missed it. That would be a 0%. But they haven't even taken a shot whatsoever. So you wouldn't put any number in there. I'm not the best at math, but there's a lot of good ways you can look up how to clean a data set and what would be the next best move on some sites, which I could definitely post a video about later on. But you get the picture. I'm going to delete this slicer. Something I like too about BigQuery when you're querying these things. I know there's settings on a lot of other platforms for the similar tasks, but you can go to any one column. What do we have here? Let's do steals. You can sort it with ascending or descending. So let's see the top steals player. We have Paul George averages 2.6 steals a game. And that is the top spot for that. That's interesting. Well, that's great. Let's see here. Yeah, and BigQuery is great. You could even actually go to Excel, just put in the CSV file, get your document, and then make it a Google spreadsheet file. And you can actually do this too. They have through Google spreadsheets, I believe, and then data connectors and Google BigQuery and connect to Looker. And it's really interesting here. But I think it's really just connecting the information if you already had some of that in there. So I will try to finish this and get it cleaned up. Figure out what's significant, get a Tableau photo on here for everybody of my dashboard, and things are cooking and it's smelling good. So thank you so much. Let me know if you like this video. Leave a like at the bottom. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I love Google BigQuery, so I will always be there to help out if you have anything pertaining to that. Otherwise, I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day or nights, wherever you are. And I'll be back.